Hey, so I just got back from riding my bike and I thought I would share a few thoughts that I had with you. I love to listen to podcasts while I'm riding, and today I listened to the Follow Him podcast and a couple of things that stood out to me while I'm stretching and cooling down from riding 23 miles with the wind again. Springtime in Idaho is fun, but it makes me stronger, so it's all good. So you get helmet and bike hair while I stretch for a minute. But one of the things that they said that really stood out to me, well, first I'll give you a little context. So last week I went to the temple. I typically try to go to the temple Wednesday afternoon. It doesn't happen every week. This week I get to go do an endowment session with a young man in our ward. He's going to take out his endowments, and so we're going to go support him, and we're so proud of him and just excited to share in his new experience. So I won't be going on my normal Wednesday time this week, but last week after I left the temple, I was talking to my husband and was like, sometimes I wonder why I keep going. Like I do, most of the time I do initiatory because I feel like I'm short on time. I'm sure I could make time for an entire session, but I really love the initiatory and the promises made there and the encouragement there. So I oftentimes choose to go to initiatory for time, but also for, I just really love it. Sorry, my necklaces are really crazy. Anyway, so after I left the temple, I was talking to my husband and I was like, why do I keep going? Like, I know I keep going and I should, and I'm going to, but sometimes when I go and I leave, President Nelson said that, like, if you want anything in your life, go to the temple. Like, that is where you will find the biggest change in your life. And as I was saying it to my husband, I was like, I probably don't know because I go. So I don't know what I don't know because I think I'm getting those blessings. I feel very blessed every day of my life. And I know a lot of it has to do with going to the temple, whether it keeps me humble, whether it keeps Christ at my center in my core. I don't know. But I think I don't know because I have gone so much over the last 10 years, almost weekly, except for COVID years. Anyway, so that was the thought I had. But going back to the Follow Him podcast, they said something that stood out to me in context of having that conversation with my husband, because I was like, I'm going to keep going. I will keep going because I know that there's blessings and there's promises because I do keep going. But sometimes I don't necessarily feel them when I go. So something I took it from their transcript and printed it. Elder Bruce R. McConkie, they quote him, and he said, I prayed every day to be led by the Spirit, and then I worked every day to be led by the Spirit. And so I think that goes back to part of the reason why I go to the temple, because I'm working, I'm trying to do everything I can to feel the Spirit, not just expect Heavenly Father to give me the filling of the Spirit. Then they also quoted Elder John H. Groberg, and this was clear back in the 1900s, in 76, and he said, rather than saying I will not move unless I get this burning, let us also say I will move. Let us say I will move unless I feel it is wrong. And so that goes back to the temple and how I was feeling last week. I'm going to keep going until I feel that it is wrong. And I don't feel it's wrong. And I don't think I will ever feel that it is wrong. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to go to the temple. And I know it's blessed me. I know it's blessed my family. And then the last thing that he said that I love is something Stephen R. Covey said. And he's about people saying, I'm not sure if I've ever felt this, but so this goes back to, I'm not sure that the temple is actually helping me. So this is what Stephen R. Covey would say to me. And he said, you're a fish. So I'm going to pretend I'm a fish for a minute. When does a fish know he's surrounded by water? When he's not. So goes back to what I was saying. I know that going to the temple is important in my life because I keep feeling like it's good. At the end of the day, I love the peace that I feel there. I love the patrons and their smiles and their acceptance and their the joy that I feel from them. I love being taught about Christ, and I love being taught about how I can be more like him. And I love being taught about the purpose in life and where I'm going and who I can be. And so I'm going to keep doing that. The last thought I had was one of my very favorite quotes, and I could have this totally wrong because I just go with it and have for years. So I could have it wrong. But President Hinckley, from what I remember, said after you say your prayer, to get off your knees and go to work. And that is how I have lived my life, is say my prayer and then do everything I can to fulfill that prayer, that desire that I have. And if that isn't fulfilled, then it's fine. It wasn't meant to be. And I'm okay with that. So I just thought I would share my little bike musings while I was writing and listening to some inspirational podcasts about our Come Follow Me this week. And I invite you to do what you can to become closer to Christ.